What's up, yo? I'm gonna show you how to make the Migos Too Hotty featuring Quality Control. Actually, it's a quality control song featuring the Migos called Too Hotty. So here's the beat I made. This is what it sounds like. I know what you're gonna say. Those vocals ain't on point. I'm gonna tell you what. I didn't want to use the sample because I've noticed that when you use the sample, even if you're making a video explaining how to do something, sometimes you can get pursued for using that same sample that was used in a song. Because basically the people who made the song, they used the sample, but they had to clear it. So instead of going through those shenanigans, I went ahead and recorded my own vocals. For if you want to do the same, of course, I'll show you. I'm using my usual presets for the vocals, which I made depending on my microphone. It works well with my microphone, which is Audio Technica. I think it's a fuck it, I don't remember the name, but it's a Audio Technica USB microphone. I think it's the only model they have, so you can check that out. But so I have this preset. I'm pretty sure if you record vocals a lot, you have your own presets, so you can go ahead and grab that. The only thing you're gonna check is for the reverb. I set the tail to 2 seconds and the wait out I put it to 40%, and there's no delay, of course. And the other thing I'm using on here is Auto-Tune. So the setting for Auto-Tune is there. It is right here. Is the key is G minor, and the return speed I set that to 6%. No humanize. Vibrato I didn't mess with that, but for the tracking I put it on 1%. I think usually by default it's on 45 or 50%, but if you can mess with it depending on your voice, depending on whatever works with your voice, whatever works with your microphone, you can adjust this or even this. But this is what I'm using. I didn't mess with any other settings right here, so I went ahead and recorded all this. So many attempts of me trying to recreate how the vocal sample, the woman in the vocal sample is singing. So I did that. By the way, I did that and it sounded like this. If I take off these effects, which is pretty damn close, but I went ahead, since like my vocal timbre cannot match the ones of the original singer on a sample, so I decided to add in some shit. So I added a chorus effect, which I didn't mess with. I just used the presets since I'm very fucking lazy. And yeah, that's it. I had a phaser, but I decided to take it off. Was missing out too much. Was becoming too muddy for the mix. I added a rubber filter. This filter, which is a free plugin, you can get that too. Definitely must have if you don't have a filter VST. So this is what I did. I put it on band and I set the high frequency to 242.12. It doesn't have to be exact. The low frequency I set that to 4090, 154.8, and this I didn't mess with them, they're by default. And I added another reverb because I felt it wasn't cutting through. But this one, the wait out, I put it on 7.5% instead of I think the original one was like on 80 or 40 something. Yeah, it was on 40. So this one is on 7.5%, and the tear is at 7.14 seconds. So all that sounds like this. Yeah, the reason why I added the reverb was to create that atmosphere, since I don't want to use like any other synths. I want to make this as simple as possible so anyone can do it. Basically, if you have a voice, even if you don't sing well, you can try this out, or if you can just use the sample. I'm pretty sure you can find it online. So with that away, I went ahead and went to Massive and used the default, this one, Urban Arsenal bass, analog bass, that's in the browser, and I selected the subblock, which is 808, and it sounds something like this, the bass line. The two of them together. And then for the kick, sounds something like this. Oh no, this is the snare. My bad. Yeah, so we have that. That's for the snare. The three of them, they sound like this. For the kick, very simple. It's the same, repeating all the time, but I know in the song there's at some points where there's like they introduce new elements to the kick or to any other of the stuff, but basically in this loop you have everything you need to recreate the entire beat, but you're gonna have to add in some things. So the four of them together, they sound like this. So it's starting to come together pretty well, and you notice that for the 808, I added this plugin XBass for 4000L, and I used the acoustic bass. It's from J-Sonic DSP Engineering, and this is free. It comes with Mixcraft 7. I don't know if it's in 8, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be there. So anyone who has Mixcraft can basically do this, or can use this plugin. And that's the other thing, I try to use like as little possible instruments and use the plugins I know you can have. Like for the chorus plugin, this one, it's called 4Stage. It's from UKM Chorus 2. That's what it's called, and you can download it. You're just gonna select this voice, whatever, and I'm pretty sure you may not even need it. I added it just because I wanted it to sound a certain way. But you can see it doesn't change that much. So the next one is the hi-hats. The line goes like this. I'm pretty sure I decided to do it like this because the line basically it has like 4. I noticed there's like 4 patterns in the song, but I had already created this like 4 bar loop, but mine is like 2 bars but connected, so I didn't want to mess with it. But if you can go ahead, but basically it's kind of the same. But I think the producer of the song decided to mess it up so it doesn't sound like all over repeating over and over again. But of course, in like rap music, it doesn't fucking matter whether it repeats like 1,000 times or 1,000,000 times. It doesn't fucking matter. So I took off like the most important parts, what I thought was the most important parts that made these hi-hats be like identifiable for somebody who listened to the song. So this is that's it. If you want to look at it, it goes like this. Nothing too fancy. There's this like the Metro Booming shit. It's always in these songs. I don't know if he produced this track, but this is like the signature Metro Booming everywhere. Yeah, this one in the song, I know it's supposed to be the same hi-hat but pitched up, but obviously I can't do that in Mixcraft since I'm using this Omni sampler. Of course I can pitch it down, but then I will have to, I'm using a preset I created, a drum preset I created, so I didn't want to mess with it, so I decided to use this hi-hat right here, the other one. So the sound is not the same, but you get the principle, like the idea behind it. If you can mess with it, you can do that. But this is what I decided to stick with. So this basically it's like the bare bones, the building construction. It's like the blueprint for the entire song, basically. So sounds something like this. Yeah. So that's it. I hope you learned something about simplicity, or any other thing like the plugins I showed you or anything else. And if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, in the comment section, and ask your question. Tell me whatever video you want to see next, and until next time, I hope you have a good one.